The weekend is here and rest is near. It's Friday. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. My name is Wale Scott. Welcome on the show. I've got Shina Adebigbabe with me on the phone this morning. And I'm expecting that Wale Adekoya, we call him Prof, might join me later before the show ends. And Sayo Oguntoye just might join me on the show before it ends. Now, Nigeria remained unmoved in the latest FIFA rankings for the month of September, as they retained their 34th position. Latest ranking was released on Thursday in Africa. The Super Eagles maintained their 5th position, with Tunisia is 25th in the world and 2nd on the continent, behind Senegal, which is Africa's #1 team and are 20th in the world. African champions Algeria are 3rd on the continent and 30th in the global rankings, while Morocco is ranked 33rd in the world and 4th in Africa. Meanwhile, Belgium remains #1 ranked nation in the world, but world champions France dropped to 4th, with Brazil retaining their 2nd spot. Euro 2020 finalist England leapfrogged Leblanc to become the 3rd best football playing nation, while European champions Italy complete the top 5. Shina, I seldom get confused, but with the rankings, I get confused every time the rankings are out. What is the basis? Explain to us, if you can, what is the basis for these rankings? And I'll tell you why I'm asking that question later.
Yes, I understand the plight of everyone. First of all, good morning, Wally. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming.
FIFA ranking, we all need to realize that it's not when you win matches that you are ranked high. So yes, you need to win matches to be ranked high. But you know, it's a accumulation of points. You know, if you were on 1,000 points before you win a particular game, so the allocated points, there are points allocated to win matches, draw matches, and lost matches. So you don't just move from the bottom because you've won some set of games to the top. Even when a country loses, let's say a country like Belgium, they've not been in their best run. They didn't even make semi-finalists of the European tournament, but they still maintain their first position. Italy is there on 5th. So FIFA ranking is based on a accumulation of points. It's not just win like the Premier League, the La Liga, and Serie A. It's accumulation of points. So we need to understand the factor and the basis of the ranking.
But in the past few months, the Super Eagles have comfortably won almost all their matches. I can imagine a Belgium still on top. How many matches do they play? How many do they win? And they are on top. And then Super Eagles have played most of their matches and have won their games. How will to be accumulating points?
I think I owe you an explicit explanation. Maybe not on this show today, but in the coming days on the show, I will bring a detailed analysis of how this FIFA ranking is being done. Actually, because let's say, for instance, Super Eagles are currently placed on 5th. We have Morocco ahead of us, we have Senegal ahead of us, we have Egypt ahead of us. Now, Egypt likewise did not lose any of their matches, same as Senegal, same as Morocco. It means everyone maintains his position in the ranking. Nigeria are winning. It means Nigeria is not going to drop. At the same time, we also need to realize that while we are not dropping, we are also leading the countries behind us with enough points. Even when we lose in the nearest future, we do not get to drop deeply.
So what do we do to hope? What do we do to be optimistic that we can make points in the nearest future?
We just have to keep winning, and we hope the other countries in the continent doesn't win as much as we do. That's the logic, because it's accumulation of points. You can't just move from third to first. We just have to keep winning, and we should also win in the big stages. Say we qualify for the World Cup now, we have more matches to play. So definitely we are winning more matches. And when we win more in the World Cup, when we go far in the World Cup, we'll definitely have more points as well. But if we are doing well in the continent and we are not doing well in the international stages, the points will definitely not increase. So we need to win more matches, we need to win more qualifiers, and yes, we need to keep performing as well as we can.
Okay.
We hope that other countries in the continent doesn't win as much as we do.
Okay, now the way Nigeria is progressing, our players are doing very, very well abroad. Very well. Can we hope that in future we just might be raising points very soon? We might get to the World Cup and do very well there.
Honestly, you know, we should base our analysis on what we have on ground currently. We can't make future postulations for people because we are human. some players might fall sick, some players might be forced to retire due to injury and the rest. But based on the current form we are right now, I would say we have a very bright squad. I don't want to call them a dream team because most of them are living their dreams already. We have the likes of Victor Osimen. We have the likes of we have top class players in the squad. The Iheanacho, banging goals home and abroad. So with this current form, if they can maintain the style well and keep it up like this, I would not be surprised to see a Nigerian team in the quarterfinals of the World Cup.
Amen. Amen. Now, a brilliant goal by Fatima Tagnout, 30 minutes from time, separated Cameroon and Morocco in the second match of the maiden edition of the Aisha Buhari Invitational Women's Tournament at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena in Lagos. Cameroon reached the finals of the Women African Cup of Nations, the country hosted in 2016, losing the trophy to Nigeria, and featured at the FIFA World Cup finals in France. But that did not matter to the Moroccan girls as they went tackle for tackle in the evening sun. Now, yesterday, all through yesterday, the story we're hearing was American US players, female, are saying we must get the same amount of pay as the male. Now, I watched a few of these matches. This is the second match. I watched the first match, Nigeria, and it's obvious that female football is gradually improving in Africa. Did you get the question, Shino?
There was a network issue. Could you take that again, please?
What I'm saying is that we have seen the quality of this play at the Aisha Buhari Invitational, and obviously the quality of female football in Africa is improving rapidly.
Okay, yes, I understand. Yes, I saw some highlights of the match yesterday, and I can say for sure that African football is actually improving, because I used to remember the days of when Nigeria was in total dominance in Africa. It would beat even the best team 8-0, 6-0, 7-0. But now the scoreline have been marginalized. We are seeing 2-0. We even see a situation whereby we struggle to win, whereby some of our star players lose penalty. You know, it's becoming so beautiful that other countries as well are shaping up. I just hope we are not losing focus, because it could be as well that we are the one dropping standard in female football in Africa. But then we can't say we are dropping standard, because we are still the defending champion. We've won it more times than anyone in the continent, 7-time record time. And other teams are doing well to reduce the scoreline. It's an improvement on their side. You know, you losing 7-0 before to a particular defending champion, now losing by 2 goals to 0. It's a kudos to us, and more can be done. But on our side, we need to go back to that funny scoreline and send the signal to them that we are not done yet. We are still getting more. But overall, I feel female football in the continent Africa has been improving. Yes.
Now let's look at this. Female football, with the quality of what we've seen in the Invitational, it's very obvious that women can actually justify their fights to get equal pay with men.
No, this question makes me laugh. You know. It's more or less like a business part of sport. Yeah, you don't tell an investor to invest in 2 businesses equally when they are not generating the same revenue.
True that.
So that's just my simple logic to it. If the female football can guarantee us of generating same revenue as the male football, why not? Why not get paid equally? Sometimes we just have to enjoy the sport football and not let money kill the sport from us. I understand the fact that they are human. They have their responsibility to pay, but also understand the fact that people are investing in this sport. Livelihood of people are in this sport. They don't want to keep paying you and you keep generating little revenue for them. You are good, yes, we understand. But as it is right now, the female football business right now, the female sport generally right now, cannot stand the male revenue right now. We just have to accept the fact and live like it. Perhaps in the nearest future, they are generating maybe half of what the male football is generating. Then why not? We can have a balance in pay. But right now, it cannot be balanced, and it's not even feasible yet because of female involvement in sport. The ratio are not balanced.
Okay, ratio are not balanced. Okay. But let me still ask. Obviously, it's because of revenue. But there are still a few female footballers on the continent. We might not know some, but at least we know that some sponsors are making money off Asisa Toshuala. Not as much as Mikel Obi, or yes, we know that. But some sponsors are making money off Asisat, and some other players, Oparanozie and some of them, and the sponsors are doing quite well.
Hmm.
They're making money off them.
Yeah, yeah. See, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, we have to look at proportion as well. When we want to pick out single-handedly the top female players in the world, past and present, I can hardly mention 50 off my head. This is not to be biased. This is just the exposure of the female football to the world. We do not know most of their top players, and the few that we know are really aged. The likes of Mata, the likes of Asisa Toshuala. There's this American lady. What's her name right now? I can't remember her name. That was advocating for an increment in female sport. I understand the plight. I understand where they are coming. But we have to understand that how many female athletes can sell out their jersey for a particular amount. Like Ronaldo has a record fee of sold out jersey, which is enough to pay him for the next 1 year in Manchester United. So these are things of business that have to come in play. I can't keep investing and revenue is not guaranteed. Revenue, sports remains a business even before the fun. We the viewer sees it as fun, but the business investor sees it as source of income, which is strictly source of income.
Okay, I've got Sayo Oguntoye on the phone with me. Sayo, good morning. Okay, thank you very much for joining us today, this morning, Adeshina Adebigbabe, at very short notice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good morning.
Now, Sayo, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Now, Sayo, let's go straight to the Europa Champions League, of course, and Leicester City had their lead 2-0, and then Victor Osimen struck back, and it ended 2-2. This is what the quality of a good striker should be: lethal, and always will come back at you.
Absolutely. It shows the quality Victor Osimen has in store, and I am not surprised about the quality he has. He's proven this both for club and country. No wonder, Gattuso squeezed out money to get his services. So he's a fantastic player any day, anytime, and he doesn't need extra chances. He just needs to take the chances he has, and that's what he did at the night.
Okay. Now, Napoli striker Victor Osimen said his side showed a good attitude to come from 2-0 down and draw 2-1 at Leicester in the Europa League. Nigerian international scored twice to give the Italian side a point with a superb individual finish, followed up with a 7-minute header. Wilfred Ndidi was then sent off as the visitors grabbed a useful point in a group that also features Spartak Moscow and Legia Warsaw. I ordinarily should have Wale Adekoya later on the show if I have time on the show this morning. But Shayo, you heard Victor Osimen saying that Leicester is a very good team, and he has two of his brothers in the squad in Leicester, whereas Wilfred Ndidi and Kelechi Iheanacho, of course, and he played a great game. Unfortunately, Ndidi got sent off.
Yes, if you look at it, Leicester is a very decent side when it comes to English football, and they are trying to extend their borders into Europe in the past few seasons. I think they had a great game, not forgetting the fact that Napoli also is a household name in Italy. So for Ndidi getting a red card, well, it's his duty to shield and protect the defense. So it's just unfortunate, very late in the game, they were down to 10 men, but the damage has been done already. And a good one for Kelechi, senior man Iheanacho, who provided an assist for Leicester's goal. It was amazing. I think all Nigerians, with exception of the red card Ndidi had, all had a fantastic game.
Okay, now, but however, the other side of the field, Brendan Rodgers and Harvey Barnes were both in agreement that there was plenty of positives for Leicester to take away from their 2-2 draw to Napoli in the UEFA Europa League on Thursday. The Foxes, who hosted the Italian Giants, were leading 2-0 until a late double from Victor Osimen saw the points shared. Barnes himself also found the back of the net, confirming a positive return to the side following a knee injury last season, with the 23-year-old happy with his match sharpness. Apart from Leicester City and Napoli's game, there are other UEFA Europa League results in Europe, across Europe, of course. So we'll take that now, and we'll try and discuss that. We'll try and see who can do well, who will go through, who will do better in the next game. Sure. So let's look at the results now. Rangers against Lyon. Of course, Lyon won't beat that one. And I was almost sure that Lyon would not beat Rangers, not at home, but they did.
Yes, if you look at the game very well, it was a very, very tough and pulsating game. I think Rangers came to the party, they did all they could, but Lyon have this quality in terms of experience, and don't forget their backline also consists of Jerome Boateng, who also scored for Lyon. So on the night, Lyon just used the experience they have to get all 3 points away from home. But I think Rangers can still go for that.
Okay, we're still looking at other results. We've got Leicester City against Napoli, of course. That was 2-2. That ended 2-2, of course. And other results are still coming up in the game. And okay, yes. Let's look at all of Monaco. Beat Storm Graz. Monaco were at home, and of course, that should have been an easy game for them, of course. Okay, Sayo.
Yeah, hello.
Monaco against Storm Graz. We knew that would be easy for them, for Monaco.
Well, football.
Okay, I think network issues there, but if Sayo comes back, of course, we'll have him. We're talking about Monaco against Storm Graz in the UEFA Europa League. And of course, Sayo, are you back there? Are you back? Okay, definitely. So in other results, though, in the UEFA Europa League, PSV Eindhoven drew 2-2 with Real Sociedad. And of course, there are many other matches that were there. Okay, Galatasaray beat Lazio. That one stunned me. That one really stunned me because I did not see that coming. Galatasaray beat Lazio 1-0. Italian teams tend to defend very well, though. That match would have ended much more than 1. But being Italians, of course, they made it happen. Now, a 7-goal thriller was what happened in Real Betis. Real Betis 4, Celtic of Scotland 3. 7 goals in one match. And we're trying to dissect which teams will go forward. This is the first match. It's IGG, Nishagragra. We cannot conclude that one team is going to do well at the end of the finals from the first match. Shaya, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Now, I was talking about the results. I said I was stunned that Galatasaray beat Lazio 1-0. And then the 7-goal thriller, Real Betis versus Celtic, 4-3. That one ended.
Absolutely. The Europa League is a goal feast. You cannot take anything away from it. Galatasaray beating Lazio at home. I mean, no one expected that. I never saw it coming. I felt Lazio were a stronger team, but like we said, football starts goalless, and with 11 players each, they all have to fight for every point they have. And then for Celtic, against Real Betis. Real Betis are a very technical side, and I think it's obvious on the night.
But if we are going to be scared of any team, although just the first match, though, if we should be scared, should it be Real Betis or Celtic? Because their first match, 7 goals in one game. That means they can score.
Absolutely.
They can really score.
Absolutely, they can score, and also they can concede. I think these two teams will qualify from the group. But I might have a little doubt with Celtic. They have not been consistent when it comes to European football. But Betis would definitely go through.
Now, this one surprised me too. I thought Olympique de Marseille away would have done something better. But Lokomotiv Moscow, 1-0, that ended.
And I think
Okay, I think Sayo is not here again due to network issues. I want to thank Sayo Oguntoye for coming on the show. Thank you very much, Sayo. And of course, that's all we can take on the show today. The weekend is here. Rest is near on a Friday. Plus Sports and Plus TV Africa. Join us same time, same station on Monday. My name is Wally Scott. Like I always advise you at the end of every show, if not for anything, at least for your heart, do some sports.